all bullshit. All of it.
Welcome back. Oh boy, we've got a big one today. Let's talk about everything wrong with Predator Badlands. Dan Trachtenberg delivered us pure ass here. This video is going to be a full breakdown of what I didn't like. Spoilers everywhere. Now don't get me wrong, there are a few things to like here and I mentioned those in my last video, but today we're talking about everything I don't like. Before I get into it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree with my take. And if you do enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing and even give the video a hype. If you do, drop hype in the comments and I'll shout you out in the next video. Everything wrong with Predator Badlands, here we go. First off, the tone of this film is totally wrong for a Predator movie. It's way too family friendly, to an extreme. I didn't even think it would be this bad. There's no tension, no horror, no mystery. They try to humanize the Predator in every way, from the way it thinks to the way it moves. Honestly, the fight scenes are so human-like. In other films, the Predator moves in an otherworldly, alien way. In this film, they all just move like humans, and the fight choreography is distinctly human and very Star Wars-like. I really didn't like that one bit. It took me out of the film. And to top it off, it's weightless CGI most of the time. So in the very first 10 minutes, which by the way are the best 10 minutes of the film, we have Dec and his brother fighting. Dec loses, and then they have a chat about their feelings and talk about toys they shared growing up. I mean, come on, is this really something you want in a Predator film? No way. It's bad enough that we're watching a Predator that looks awful and is a runt. He's like 5 feet 8 inches and it's all very lame, but we knew that going in. Still, I hated it. They then talk about Dec going on his first hunt to become blooded and earn his cloak, the invisibility cloak predators use to hunt. Yes, this expands the lore a bit, but it's a contradiction since other non-blooded predators have cloaking devices, like in Alien vs Predator, Celtic, Scar and Chopper. Anyway, I digress. Back to this steaming pile of poo. Dec says he wants to go to the planet Jenna and hunt a monster that even his father fears, one no Yautja has ever come back from. This was terrible. Picking planets like they're flicking through an Argos catalogue, it's just so lame. Again, something we didn't need to see. Then the father shows up after Dec's defeat, and this part's important. He basically asks why Dec isn't dead yet. The brother sticks up for Dec, saying he deserves a chance to hunt and prove himself worthy of the clan. But the father doesn't want a runt in the clan, saying you're only as strong as your weakest member, and in nature, runts are killed at birth. Only humans give runts a chance, and that's what makes us different. But the Yautja seem very human anyway. The dad then decides it's time to kill Dec, and says they should have killed him in his sleep. This completely throws the honor code out the window. The father then traps him with a gadget, and asks the brother to kill him while he's trapped and can't defend himself. No honor at all. It doesn't fit Predator lore. The reality is this runt would have been killed at birth. Weak, small, a waste of resources. But it's still a shame to see such a lack of commitment to the Yautja honor code. Dec's brother frees him and throws him onto a ship headed for Jenna, but then the father kills the brother with no honor, using his cloaking device like a coward. So Dec gets to the planet Jenna, supposedly so deadly no Yautja has ever returned, fearing the Kalisk monster Dec must hunt. This planet is a joke, like a child's creation. Grass like glass, trees that come to life and attack you, plants that shoot poison darts, bugs that explode, eels that shoot acid, and much more. In short, everything is hostile. Flying monsters, land monsters, tree monsters. It's all a bit much and very childish. Totally Avatar-like. The main issue here is that the Predator can't see. Anyone who knows Predator knows their weakness is eyesight. Dutch killed one with organic traps because of that. So Dec would have been dead in seconds on this planet. That's an example of Dan Trachtenberg knowing nothing about the franchise. It's literally the Predator's weakness from the first and best film. An embarrassing oversight. Anyway, he's attacked by trees that steal all his weapons, so he's got no cool alien gadgets for the whole film. Brilliant. Anyway, Dek gets to a field and sees a synthetic named Thea. She's literally just a torso tied up and incredibly annoying. She's speaking Yautja. Didn't like that. It's explained away in a nonsense way, saying she speaks and every creature hears their own language. Makes no sense, but fine. A plant fires a dart at Dek's neck, about to render him unconscious for a flying dragon creature to eat, but Dek throws a weapon at Thea. She uses it to free herself, teleports over, kills the dragon, and gives him an antidote. How she got to him so fast, we don't know, and she can barely move afterward. Considering she's an android, that makes no sense. Total plot convenience. Garbage. They team up because Thea wants to find her legs, which are near the Kalisk's den. She explains she's with Wayland Yutani, and they're on the island too. Total nonsense. That doesn't belong in the Predator world. That's alien territory. Lazy writing from Dan Trachtenberg. Anyway, they set up camp, rest, sit around a fire, and talk about feelings. Just when I thought it couldn't get more childish and Disney, it did. Then they run into a giant bug in the trees about to eat them, but are saved by a random, cute ape hamster monster called Bud. I'm not joking, and that's the name of this joke pet creature. They befriend Bud, and now it's Thea, Bud, and Dek around a fire talking about clans and alphas. Bud spits on Dek as a signal to mark clan members. They mention the wolf as an alpha. I thought it was a nod to Wolf from AVP, but it wasn't. The next morning, Dek leaves Bud sleeping, thinking predators hunt alone, so he goes off with Thea to the Kalisk's den. It's a dump site full of Wayland Yutani vehicles and broken androids. Thea finds her legs, they try to attach them, and then the Kalisk turns up. It's just a big CGI mess, childish with dreadlocks. Dek slices its tail and head off, but it regenerates, throws him around, and breaks Thea's legs again. It's about to eat Dek, but smells him, and of course he smells of Bud. Surprise. Bud is the Kalisk's child. Then Wayland shows up, led by Thea's sister, Tessa. Same model synthetic but evil. She captures both Dek and the Kalisk using one of Dek's weapons he conveniently left on his ship. Why? Who knows? Dek wakes up in a medbay type vehicle. They're taking samples from him. He tells Thea she betrayed him, and she still has no legs. Why didn't Wayland pick them up earlier? Who knows? Thea frees him, and Dek fights the Wayland synthetics, who are dumb as rocks. They're supposed to be stronger and smarter than humans, but they only are when the script allows it. 1 minute he's getting beaten, the next he's overpowering them. No consistency, no tension. Dek escapes and goes back to the Kalisk's den, where Bud is waiting. Dek decides to get revenge and kill everyone at Wayland Yutani. He crafts weapons like Dutch in the original, but instead of traps, Dek makes bombs out of bugs, a mask out of animal skin, glass grass weapons, and even puts an eel on his shoulder as a plasma caster. I'm not joking. It somehow knows when to shoot acid. It's embarrassing. Dek also finds Thea's legs, picks them up, and they start walking by themselves, leading him to her. So dumb. Why didn't they just do that earlier? They follow the legs to a Wayland Yutani base. Somehow this deadly planet is fine for humans to build on. Total nonsense. Anyway, Dek, Bud, and the legs attack the base, and I kid you not, the legs and Bud kill more androids than Dek. It's like something out of Guardians of the Galaxy. Then Tessa turns up in a giant power loader like from Aliens, but bigger. She shoots at Dek, and the eel cannon sacrifices itself to save him. Supposed to be emotional, but it's not. Thea releases the Kalisk, which destroys the loader, eats Tessa, and Wayland is defeated. But because it's a kids' film, Tessa freezes the Kalisk from inside its stomach and kills it, before Bud rips her head off. Jesus, that was boring and painfully kid-friendly. Dek returns home to impress his father and clan, giving him Tessa's android skull as a trophy. The father isn't impressed. Dek fights 2 of his father's guards, both much bigger, but somehow kills them with ease, despite losing every fight earlier. Then he kills his father. So what was the point? He didn't impress him, he just killed him. The journey was pointless. And then a ship appears. Thea asks if it's a friend, and Dek says it's his mother. It ends. Total trash. Look, I get what Dan Trachtenberg was trying to do, expand the lore, but it didn't work. We learn a bit more about clan culture, but not in a way any fan over 12 would want. The comedy is childish, the plot is recycled, and while change is fine, it still needs to feel like Predator. Keep the tone tense, keep the mystery, add some horror, not this. Unfortunately, this film sits right next to Shane Black's The Predator for me, a total waste of time and a poor entry in the franchise. Give me Alien vs Predator over this any day, and those films aren't even good, but at least they respect the Predator more. Anyway, what did you think? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments. Peace out.